What is up, guys? Eric Janicki back here with another workout. So today I get asked all the time, Eric, how do you build a cake like that? So honestly, I've been working on my glutes for a long time, and these are my top 5 glute building exercises. So if you were to only do 5 exercises, these are the ones to do, guys. So do not click away. As a reminder, if you guys are not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, please do. It's free to you, it means the world to me. So without further ado, let's get these top 5 glute building exercises. Let's go. Number 1 exercise I can recommend is literally just standing and looking at your glutes in the mirror and squeezing them. First of all, I'm just messing with you guys. Don't actually do that. Do these exercises first, and then you can look at your glutes in the mirror. So first exercise we're gonna do is a side single leg press. We're gonna do, basically what we're doing here is trying to isolate that basically posterior and inner glute with this drive. So I don't know if you guys have ever done like a glute kickback machine. I feel like this is a good way to emulate that, but I think it's more compound. You're gonna get a lot more glute engagement on this exercise. Make sure you're doing this one correctly, obviously, because you're gonna be twisting your body a little bit. So let's hop into this. So what we're gonna do here is we're actually gonna set up our foot in the very middle of our plate on the leg press, higher up. So you don't wanna be down here, you wanna be high up, and you wanna put the foot on about a 45-degree angle directly in the middle of the leg press. What we're gonna do then is we're actually gonna push our body away. We're gonna push our body all the way to the outside of the seat. So you see there's space here. You don't wanna be at the front or in the middle. You wanna push yourself back. That's gonna give yourself better leverage. I'm gonna take this opposite foot and basically just rest it underneath the leg press, wherever it's comfortable. So I'm gonna turn the body here, and then I'm also gonna turn this upper body to angle to face. So everything is in one plane of motion. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab onto here. We're gonna unrack. I wanna see you pull the upper body back as you come down with the knee. So I like to just kind of put my hand here. So I have someplace like you're doing a side crunch. So it just helps me to remember to pull the body back as I come down. We're gonna get as much depth as we can comfortably, and then we're gonna push out and squeeze. See how I turn the body and I almost do like a ninja kick. So I wanna press through that heel as hard as possible, come slow on the down, clear that body. See how I pull that body back, upper body, and then I squeeze through in the glutes. So I'm gonna have Safe go around the other side so you can see the engagement on here. So you still see how much engagement I get on my glutes, not only on the stretch, but also on the contraction at the top of the rep. So stretch, push through, and squeeze at the top of the rep. Big stretch at the bottom. We're gonna really open up the glute to work, and then we're gonna push through. And you can even, for the first few times you're doing this, you can actually push your fingers or your hand and feel the engagement. So I'm gonna push right here. I'm gonna drop the upper body back, and then I'm gonna push through and squeeze here. Drive down, squeeze, push, and squeeze through. So this, guys, I would go 12 to 15 on this. Don't start heavy. I know I've got 2 plates on there, but start with maybe 1 plate or just the leg press to start, the weight of the leg press, and then work your way up as you feel more comfortable in the movement. It's gonna feel a little odd at first, but I really, with any other exercise, same thing. If you're not feeling the contraction where you wanna be feeling it, you're not doing the exercise appropriately. So drop the weight, drop your ego, and perform the exercise as it should be, and then you can increase weight and scale up in intensity, in weight, in tempo, in range of motion as you continue to get more comfortable in the movement pattern. And number 2 glute building exercise is going to be the reverse hack squat. The reason for this, and the reason I like this more than traditional squats, is because of the ability to use a lot of tempo, pause reps, really control the foot placement in order to get a maximal glute engagement. So for this, you can use, even if you got just a traditional hack squat, you can actually just use it facing inward on the foot plate. It's almost the same thing. This one, you have a traditional hinge squat, hack squat, so you can go either facing out or facing in. So I'm gonna face towards the hack squat. And the reason for this is because the way the weight moves is gonna allow me to get deeper and get better engagement and glute drive through the heels. So I'm gonna set my feet, comfortable position. As always, pretty much set up your feet like you would a squat. Slight toe turn out. About shoulder width. We're gonna dig underneath. Lift off. I'm gonna go as slow as I can on the eccentrics, pushing my butt back. So my first movement is butt back. See that? So squeeze the glutes together, the top, so you can feel that engagement. And then we're gonna push the hips back away from us as our first movement. So we're gonna push the hips back, butt back, as deep as you can feel comfortable. But you see how even at the bottom of my rep, I still can keep a flat back. So don't do this if you're going like this, because you're just gonna hurt yourself. So keep flat back, as deep as you can go, pushing those heels, and then pushing the hips forward. You don't have to hyperextend. There's a difference between pushing the hips and squeezing your butt cheeks together and pushing your hips through, right? So you see how I can get to the top and go here without locking out? So I'm just pushing, squeezing my glutes together right before going to my next rep. So here, pushing those hips back, slow on the eccentric, digging nice and deep, comfortably, pushing through those heels. Squeeze the glutes to the top. And you guys can see, a lot of times, it's not that the exercise itself is all that revolutionary. It's all about the form, the cues, being mentally connected, having a mind-muscle connection of where we want to target. Because sure, I could bang out 15, 20, 30 reps of this weight fast. I could go here. But I'm not having any specificity. I feel all quads on that. So figuring out how to dig and really engage my glutes, pause reps, increasing that time under tension, that motor recruitment, and then digging out. So, got a huge amount of burn on that. So that's my second best glute building exercise. Music is here as a vibe, bro. So number 3 glute exercise, I won't waste any more of you guys' time. We got the famous glute bridges. So this gets the rap as like a girly exercise, which is quite frankly just being misogynistic. So get over yourself. It's a great exercise for males, females, whatever you want to associate as. It's gonna grow your glutes regardless. So what I want to see, I like a Smith machine. You can do barbell as well. It's just you're not gonna get quite as much control. Being on the track allows you to kind of push up and back, opposed to a barbell. It's gonna have more roll because the bar is actually obviously circular round, so it's gonna roll back and forth slightly. Whereas on the track, on the Smith machine, you're just gonna be able to have it in one singular plane. So I'm gonna show you guys how to set this up. I add a platform so I can get more depth. So the higher my feet are, the more I'm gonna get lower with my glutes because I'm not gonna bottom out with the Smith machine. So I'm gonna show you guys how that looks. Just get a little low. So you're gonna slip underneath. On your Smith machine, you're gonna wanna put the safety guides all the way to the bottom position. You wanna pull your feet back and in towards you. You wanna point the toes out, and you want the bar on your upper quad. So you're not gonna want it down here or up on your stomach. If you feel it like pressing into your intestines, it's too high. The other thing I like to do is take my hands and push it down into my quads after I rack. So this one's a front twist off. I'm gonna twist this bad boy off. I'm gonna go as deep as I can go with the safety guide. I'm gonna drive up, I'm gonna tuck the hips. So you see how I don't go all the way back and lie back here? I'm gonna tuck the hips. I'm not gonna shoot and lie back. I'm gonna focus on squeezing my butt cheeks together at the top of the rep and getting a 4 count hold. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Pushing those knees out. Push up and squeeze the glutes. Tuck the hips, push your hands into the bar, hold for 4. Really feel that engagement in your hamstrings and mostly in your lower glutes. Drive and squeeze, that lower tie-in, right when it meets your hamstrings, that's where you should be feeling this. Super deep, push up, squeeze, 2, 3, 4. Don't just drop it. Control that eccentric portion. Down, stretch, push, drive, hold, 2, 3, 4. Push, drive, hold, 2, 3, 4. And then when you get to failure with the holds, then you can start pushing through some failure reps. Oof. Which means it's a little bit faster. Oof. Oof. Should get a really good burn on those. I like to go about 60-second rest, 4 to 5 sets here. Really, like I said, focusing on that glute drive, holding at the top, slow eccentric. These are a must for growing your glutes. All right, 4th glute exercise, guys, and probably, arguably, maybe, probably, no, I was kidding. Definitely one of my favorite leg exercises, period, is the Bulgarian split squat. One of the most hated exercises. Usually the more hated the exercise, the more effective it is. So the reason people hate this is because it's hard, it's very aerobic, it requires a lot of hip mobility, but it's extremely effective for quads and for glutes. This specifically for glutes because we're gonna get a lot of heel drive. We're gonna push the foot a little farther forward and get a lot of push through the heel. So I'm gonna show you guys what this one looks like. What we have here, I put a box down and so I can get extra range of motion. Another thing is I will get a heavier bench at your gym. If you have one that's like this with a lot of weight to it, opposed to one that's maybe just straight up flat bench, because that's gonna be more susceptible to move because you're gonna have a tendency to push slightly back. So what I'm gonna do is set my front foot first. I'm probably just gonna go straight barbell on this so I can feel it on my back. I'm gonna set my front foot first. One rack. I'm gonna go flat on that back foot. So I'm not gonna be on that toe. A lot of people try to do this on the toe. Go flat on your back foot. You should feel like it's just a guiding foot for you. So we're gonna go slow on that eccentric. Deep, deep, deep. Stretch through that glute. Drive through that front heel. Really focusing on driving through the heel of that front foot. Big depth, push out. So as you can see, when you get to the bottom of that rep, getting a lot of stretch through your glute, through your front quad. So this is a great exercise, regardless if you're trying to hit quads, glutes, but glutes especially, it's gonna be a tremendous exercise for you to add into your routine. Number 5 glute building exercise, guys, is hip adductor machine. So we're gonna take this all the way in. What we're gonna do is we're actually gonna push our body forward. We're gonna reach out, grab the front of the machine, because it's gonna allow us to push back. A big stretch. Then we're gonna push out and back, squeezing that outer glute, and then slow out. Squeeze, this is a tremendous finisher. Or if you have trouble engaging your glutes in the first place, this is a really good way to fire them up at the beginning of a workout. So if your impetus is a glute-centric workout, you can start your workout here, get your glutes firing, and then they'll be more apt to be engaged on your more compound exercises such as hack squat, leg press, squats, split squats. So don't be afraid to start with some ancillary stuff, or vice versa. If you have trouble firing your hamstrings, you could start with a hamstring curl. So this is a really great movement. You can start here. Remember that big squeeze, slow on the end. The other way to hit them is back, and you want to push. You can even push out with your hands to almost hyperextend, and then you get the negative. So almost like a forced rep. Push out as far back as you can, and then you get the negative. So it's almost like forced reps, like forced partner reps. Really good way to push your glutes past that failure point. So I usually do 12 to 15 reps, sometimes more, but I usually take these, since it's a smaller movement pattern, close to failure. Well, sometimes upwards of 20 plus reps, depending on the weight I'm using. But either you can do these partner reps like this, or you can kind of just come forward and squeeze and squeeze. So that's number 5. So hope you guys loved this glute building workout. So what I want to leave you guys with is the fact that the exercise selection is important, but the modality, the intensity, and the intentionality in which you train within those exercise movement patterns is going to far exceed the movement pattern itself. What I mean by that is, for example, we did the glute bridges. If you're not doing that hold, that stretch, really driving, contracting the glutes, you're not going to get as much work as the way we were performing it. So just remember, eccentrics, holds on the contraction points, all of these things are going to help you accelerate hypertrophy, get better range of motion, better motor recruitment through the tissue, and overall just better results. So I hope you guys love this workout. I hope you guys are loving this YouTube content. Hope you love my ridiculous personality. Without further ado, I will see you guys in the next one. Remember, if you guys are not subscribed to my channel, please do, guys. I'm gonna be putting so much amazing content. I'm putting all my love, all my knowledge into these, all for free for you guys. So I'll see you guys in the next video.